Hey everyone, welcome back. We've covered plenty of great concealed carry guns, but today, let's talk about the worst ones. Not every firearm is a winner. Some are just awful for self-defense. Now, don't get us wrong. Some of these guns have niche uses, but for concealed carry, they simply don't cut it. A carry gun should be reliable, easy to use, and effective when things go south. But imagine being in a life-threatening situation and realizing your gun only holds 2 rounds. Even if you're as fast as Jerry Miculek, that's just not enough. We've tested countless guns, and while some are fine for collectors, others are outright impractical for everyday carry. So let's dive into the 5 worst concealed carry guns you should avoid in 2025. Number 1. Derringers. Let's kick off this list with Derringers, a firearm that somehow blurs the line between a shotgun and a revolver, all while being small enough to fit in your pocket. At first glance, these tiny handguns might seem unique and intriguing, and I won't lie, they do have a certain old-school charm. But when it comes to real-world practicality, they are nothing but trouble. Now, some of you might argue that Derringers offer a variety of calibers, and you'd be right. Bond Arms, for example, manufactures some of the most versatile Derringers on the market today. However, caliber choice means nothing when the overall design is deeply flawed. Let's break it down. Regardless of whether you choose .22 long rifle, .45 Colt, or even .410, there's one glaring issue: you only get 2 rounds. That's it. Even if you're an elite marksman, 2 shots aren't enough in a life-threatening situation. And yes, reloading is technically simple, but are you really going to carry spare ammo with you at all times? Let's be real, probably not. But let's assume for a second that you do carry spare ammo. Would that actually make the Derringer a viable concealed carry option? Absolutely not. Here's why. Single action trigger, slower operation, requiring you to manually cock the hammer for every shot. Tiny grip makes it harder to control, especially under stress. Super short barrel severely limits accuracy and velocity. Insane recoil. Even if you land the first shot, the recoil is so brutal that your follow-up shot will be a struggle. So what are you left with? Well, a cool-looking gun. And while style points might matter at the gun range, they won't help you in a real fight. If you want to bet your life on a pocket-sized, 2-shot firearm with terrible handling, be my guest. But as for me, I wouldn't take a Derringer out of the house, let alone trust it as my concealed carry weapon. Number 2. Big Magnums. There's no denying that shooting powerful revolvers like the .44 Magnum or .454 Casull is an absolute blast. These high-powered hand cannons are fantastic when you're out hiking in bear country or camping deep in the wilderness, where large predators could be a real threat. If you're looking for a wood gun, these are solid choices. But for everyday concealed carry, absolutely not. Why big Magnums are a terrible concealed carry weapon choice? Size and weight. These revolvers are massive and nearly impossible to conceal without wearing a trench coat. The sheer bulk and heft make them completely impractical for daily carry. Fatigue factor. Carrying a heavy gun all day isn't fun. Even if you manage to conceal it, you'll feel every ounce of that steel frame as the day goes on. Recoil issues. Let's be honest, Magnum rounds pack a serious punch, but that also means serious recoil. At the shooting range, that might be fun, but in a real defensive situation where accuracy matters, having to recover from massive recoil after every shot puts you at a huge disadvantage. Overkill for self-defense. While Magnums have insane stopping power, do you really want to use that much force in a defensive shooting? Overpenetration is a real concern, and the last thing you want is a round going through your target and hitting someone else. Limited capacity. These revolvers usually hold 5 or 6 rounds, which pales in comparison to the 10 to 15 rounds you get in modern compact semi-autos. A better alternative for wheel gun lovers. If you're set on carrying a revolver, you're much better off with a Ruger lightweight compact revolver in .327 Federal Magnum. It's lightweight, compact, and far more practical for concealed carry. Sure, it still has capacity limitations, but at least it's manageable, unlike a full-size .44 Magnum that belongs in a holster on your chest, not inside your waistband. Big Magnums are fantastic for hunting, hiking, and outdoor defense, but for concealed carry, they're a nightmare. If you actually plan to carry a gun daily, do yourself a favor and leave the Magnums at home. Number 3. Rifle caliber pistols. As a gun enthusiast, I've come across some ridiculous concealed carry suggestions. But one of the most baffling was the idea of carrying an AR-15 style pistol as a concealed weapon. I kid you not, someone once tried to convince me that it was totally feasible so long as you carry a specially designed backpack to hold it. I still can't wrap my head around that logic. But if that wasn't bad enough, things get even more ridiculous when we talk about rifle caliber pistols, like the Heiser Defense Part 1, which chambers .45 Colt or .410, weighs around 21 ounces, and is marketed as a compact firearm. Why rifle caliber pistols are a terrible idea for concealed carry. Ballistics matter. People with little understanding of gun ballistics might not see an issue here. But let me tell you, it's not just the ammo that makes rifle caliber pistols impractical for concealed carry. Barrel length is critical. The longer the barrel, the greater the velocity and overall effectiveness of the bullet. When you cut a rifle barrel down to the size of a pistol, you're destroying the rifle's potential and severely limiting the round's performance. Single-shot pistols are useless for self-defense. To make things even worse, some of these rifle pistols are single-shot. Yes, one round. In a real-life defensive scenario, that's a joke. If you miss your shot, or if there's more than one threat, you're completely out of options. At this point, I don't even need to tell you how bad of an idea this is. I could go on for hours about how pointless these guns are, but let me save us both some time. They're novelties. And you should never trust your life to a novelty. Number 4. Surplus handguns. Buying from the surplus market might seem like a budget-friendly way to get a self-defense firearm. But why do I have it on the list of worst concealed carry options? Well, let me be clear, I'm not talking about surplus 1911s, Makarovs, or some Berettas. Those can be decent handguns with proper maintenance. I'm referring to older surplus models like the Tokarev T-33 and CZ-52. which have serious drawbacks when it comes to safety and reliability. Safety concerns. Reports have surfaced of accidental discharges, making these handguns untrustworthy in a high-stakes situation. The T-33 is not drop-safe, meaning an accidental impact could set it off. The C-52 has been known to fire when decocked, which is a massive liability for concealed carry. Ammunition problems. Finding quality ammo for these older firearms is not easy. Many of them use outdated calibers that aren't readily available, leaving you with a gun you can't even feed. Magazine and capacity issues. Surplus handguns often come with faulty magazines and low capacity, which puts them at a disadvantage compared to modern carry pistols. Price gap is closing. In the past, surplus guns were a cheap alternative to new firearms. But today, modern concealed carry pistols are priced similarly to surplus options. With all that in mind, why buy an outdated, potentially unsafe handgun when you can get a reliable, modern firearm for about the same price? If you're a collector, sure, go for it. But for everyday carry, a surplus handgun is not worth the risk. Number 5. 410 revolvers. Remember when 410 revolvers had a surge in popularity a few years back? Well, some companies took that trend too far. Now they're producing compact versions and marketing them as concealed carry weapons. The worst part, many of these revolvers are also chambered in .45 Colt, which creates serious problems for concealability and control. Accuracy issues. With a tiny barrel and massive recoil, landing precise shots is a challenge. .45 Colt is a powerful round, but in a small frame, it becomes hard to manage. Terrible ergonomics. If you think pinky hang is bad with compact semi-autos, these revolvers take it to another level. With some models, half your hand is left hanging off the grip. This affects stability, control, and accuracy. Are they even safe? Especially with polymer-framed versions. I'm not convinced these revolvers are built to handle repeated use of high-pressure rounds. At the end of the day, these revolvers fall into the same category as gimmicky rifle-caliber pistols. They might look cool, but are they practical for self-defense? Not at all. Final thoughts. That wraps up the list of the 5 worst concealed carry guns. Derringers, low capacity, painful recoil, and impractical design. Big Magnums, heavy, hard to conceal, and overkill for self-defense. Rifle caliber pistols, poor ballistics, terrible concealability, and single-shot issues. Surplus handguns, safety concerns, outdated ammo, and no longer a cheap alternative. 410 revolvers, bad accuracy, bad ergonomics, and questionable safety. We hope this video has been both informative and fun. What do you think? Did I miss any terrible carry guns? Let me know in the comments. And as always, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.